You were in one particular state of life and shape, and then suddenly to this. Was that whole transition very hard in general?
I saw some people who were running non-stop for 10 minutes. How is it even humanly possible? How can humans...
To be a Sub-3 marathoner, what pace are you running at?
Sub-3 would take around 4 minute 15.
4:15. Consistently for 42 kilometers.
The reality also is that most founders are overworked. Talk to us about work-life balance.
People don't know what work-life balance is. Like, we are not trained for that. People don't even know that they're stressed out. Change that fabric where you're constantly expect entrepreneurs to hustle and work late night and forget everything in life, forget your family. It doesn't cut out.
Now I know that's one of the biggest mistakes that I've made. We all know you for, your entrepreneurship, investing, and, all those impactful things that you're doing in the industry. But today we are not talking about it. I am heavily inspired by, of course, your fitness and your running journey. And when we were prepping for this episode, we got to know that fitness did not come very early to you. You started at the age of 32, I believe. You used fitness as a tool for weight loss back then, which looks very different at this point, and we'll talk about it. But what I wanted to ask was that what inspired you to lace your boots up at that moment?
Fitness and health was not part of my vocabulary. I was living an average Joe's life, which was wake up, go to work, keep doing work, and continue to do that as long you can. And when you feel that you're tired, you come back, eat whatever is available, and then sleep, and then rinse and repeat. And there was a point in life where I think it all came crashing, and I couldn't take it both physically and mentally. Today, when I look back, I could say I burnt out. So that was a point in life where I had to really take a pause and really ask myself and do a lot of introspection that what am I doing? Why am I doing? And professionally, I've been kind of in the entrepreneurial space for most part of my career. So everything around how we define entrepreneurship, the hustle, was very ingrained in me. So it never came up to me that I should take a pause. So when I took a pause and really asked myself, why am I doing this? I didn't have any answers. I think that was that point when I realized that all of this is not coming together in terms of what I thought I am doing, that is building companies and kind of chasing a certain vanity metric with almost no certainty that I will get there. But, as entrepreneurs, you're wired in chasing something which you don't see. There's a mythical shape and color to it, right? And you're just chasing it. So I was just doing that. But yeah, at that point, I had to really pause. And fitness came to me more as a need to survive. It was not to kind of get into shape or be a runner and whatever that identity is for me today. I just had to survive and stay there for my family. So that was the starting point, how I started looking upon health and fitness in a very different way.
This was at what age again? 30?
I would be in early 30s, yeah, 32, 33.
You were in one particular state of life and shape and everything, and then suddenly to this. Was that whole transition very hard in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was all prosperity of marriage, right? I mean, when I think early days, it was just, kind of figuring out the meaning of having fun in life, and you don't know what fun in life means. It was mostly eating out a lot, drinking a lot. And
you had that also?
A lot.
Oh,
so that's why I keep using a lot. So everything was a lot in abundance. And I think all of that compounded and came up. And like I said, I was an entrepreneur, so which is a very stressful career path.
Yes.
Right? It's not a pathway where you have time to think and reflect, and you're always on the move. So I think that in tandem didn't work because the work was very demanding. It was stressful, and then the lifestyle didn't really anchor a certain pursuit which I was having professionally. and it just crashed. So the transformation from there to, I think, the next version, also, it was not intentional. Like I said, for me, the goal was to survive.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the backstory is also, just to give the context, is that since you asked like how much I was weighing, I didn't have an answer to it back then. There was a day where I was just getting down from my staircase and I missed one stair and I fell and I kind of twisted my ankle. And 2 days later, I was supposed to travel abroad. So I went to a doctor. He said, "You're totally fine. You can go." So I went and I went to a place where it was extremely cold. So 2 weeks out, when I came back, that ankle swelled. And it turned out to be a chronic ligament tear then. And then I was asked, you have two options. Either you have to do surgery or you have to go through a long rehab procedure. And during my rehab, the physiotherapist said, okay, as part of strengthening, you should start doing a bit of walk and jog. That was the first introduction to me, what running felt like. I have never in my lifetime ran as in terms of experiencing running.
Until that day?
Yeah, until that day. I used to do a bit of football playing in my school, but I was never the sporty kid. Played a bit of cricket, which almost every Indian does, but not from my intent of being fit or anything. So that was my introduction to running. And I remember it didn't come very naturally to me. And I told my wife that I went one day, really pushed my heart. I came back and I told her, look, I saw some people who were running non-stop for 10 minutes. How is it even humanly possible? Right? How can humans be on their feet and run for 10 minutes non-stop? Right? Because I had to cover up 2 laps of a park where I was staying. I said, there's something wrong with these people. I'll go back tomorrow and see how are they doing it. So I went back again and I saw again people jogging and they were non-stop. So that really excited me, that how are these people doing this, right? I mean, non-stop. Because I was huffing and puffing every 100, 200 meters. And that kind of made me very curious, kind of segued into running as a sport. Yeah. And very incidentally, around that time, TCS 10K used to happen. So there was a huge advertisement on the newspaper saying that TCS 10K is happening. So in a way, I just signed up. And I said, okay, now I am also seeing people doing this and there's a goal. Because as entrepreneurs, you're wired towards chasing a goal.
Yes.
That's an intrinsic motivation, right? So I thought this makes sense. So I signed up for a 10K and then, I would go back every morning there and I would just do laps and somehow dreaded. And I did a 10K, I don't remember, like 67, 68 minutes, something.
So cool.
And during that journey, my rehab also came along well. I was back on the feet and I started enjoying that experience. Till then, I used to be this scary random guy who would walk into a gym. Probably I might have signed up 10 gyms in the past 2 years.
You're also one of those people.
yeah. And never turned back after 7 days. But this experience felt very liberating. Just going back, every morning. This is like 8 odd years back, where Bangalore mornings used to be much more peaceful. Less of traffic. Even at 7 o'clock, it was very pleasant. It was a great experience. And it felt more like having that therapy session to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to yourself, you're jogging with your own thoughts, you don't need music. So that was the introduction of running. And then,
I mean, can you even believe this?
Yeah,
like from running for rehabilitation to becoming a Sub-3 marathoner.
That's amazing.
I don't think even you understand how amazing that is.
Yeah. And you
it
said
is
something
incredible.
Yeah, he said something like really nice. He said, in between you said that running became a part of your identity now.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is. And that's transformative, right? Because people who actually stick to anything, I'm not even talking about the level of running at which you are right now. I'm just saying basic consistency. They just make exercise a part of their identity. And I think you just cracked that code.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Thank you.
But now you have to tell us a journey into marathon.
Yeah.
Like, how did you make that happen?
Yeah, so I think once I started doing these 10Ks, really got inspired, and I think it was again intrinsic that okay, it felt good, and those endorphins of finishing, getting to the finish line of a race, and then going back home and then planning the next one. And then running as a sport is in some sense a little unique sport because there your performance is a function of how fast can you run. So you can really time yourself in terms of whether you're progressing well or not. And then for me, I think every day I was seeing a progress. My pace was increasing, my heart rate was getting comfortable. I was able to endure a longer distance. So I could see progress almost on a daily basis, which in other sports is very tricky. Like you have to, train for a long time and then eventually show up on a competition. I mean, you could be the best athlete, but on that day, someone else could probably edge you out, but you're still great. But in running, almost every day, you're getting better. So that narrative stuck to me. And I liked the sport. And I said, okay, it continues to give me endorphin, a kind of, which was almost like a drug, no side effect, right? So why not continue to it? So I think 10K happened, and then naturally people will say, how do you mature from there? So I started signing up for a half marathon and then a full marathon. But I took some time out. I think my journey to full marathon from my initial start of the running was almost 4 years.
Oh,
I never did a full marathon till then. So somewhere I kind of, I mean, half marathon, I said, I had a weird math that unless I don't do a sub 130, 135 half marathon, I'm not going to do a full marathon.
Crazy.
So I was seeing people who were doing full marathon and they were crashing out. I could see people that, it was not a strong finish for people. They're passing out. And I felt somewhere that, if I want to do that, I should finish strong. So when I started becoming very curious in this entire journey. So I ended up reading a lot of literature, a lot of research in terms of how people are training, started watching a lot of content around running. And then I did this math that, okay, in order for me to finish a strong marathon, I should better my 10K, I should better my half marathon. So I spent a lot of time on those foundations. So once I got into like a sub 135, then I did a marathon. In fact, in this history of maybe 8-9 years, I've probably done like 6-7 marathons. I haven't done a lot. I've done a lot. I just do one marathon a year. I don't do a lot. So the journey has been one good thing which I feel about myself is that I'm kind of being a little methodical in the running journey. So in terms of how much, when, so I haven't really gone out to do a lot of races. I train pretty much throughout the year, but in terms of peak performance, I try to accumulate it only like a 12 to 16 week space, so that because the body has to take a lot of hit.
Exactly.
You can't do that throughout the year.
Correct.
But you train to stay fit. So the marathon journey was, in that sense, planned that I would do it only once I hit a threshold.
I think you're also creating a fit founder community. I think that's a brilliant initiative. The reality also is that most founders are overworked. They have a lot of stress and things and deadlines to chase. I'm pretty sure you've gone through that phase, and I'm sure you may be overworked even right now. Talk to us about work-life balance. Is there anything that you're doing with the founders with respect to work-life balance, and how important is that?
Generally, people don't know what work-life balance is. Like, we are not trained for that.
True.
We are either trained to work, or we are either trained to just go and live a life. And I personally feel that it's a mythical term. Like, we don't know how to balance it out, right? And I also don't know whether there's a science to it or there's an art to it. And people are struggling. And everyone is under stress. The sad part is people don't even know that they're stressed out. So this entire narrative around Fit Founder was more so like a self-reflection that no one told me when I was going through that phase. Yeah. As part of my job, I'm meeting a lot of founders almost every day, and I can see that in them now. not to judge in terms of physical appearance, but you can make out, because
Yeah.
I've been in that side, right? You can make out that they're not giving enough importance to their mental health, to their physical health. Everyone need not run a marathon. Everyone need not, do deadlifts. Everyone need not have a six pack, but you should do at least the minimum to stay healthy, both mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Not just for yourself, but for the work, what you're doing, and for your family. Because like I said, I mean, for your entrepreneurial journey, for success to come, it's a lot of factors which have to all come together. And luck is also an important factor which often gets ignored, right? So you might be the most hardworking person, but everything has to come together. But when you give out a lot, and if that success doesn't come back, you crash out. But what you've lost in that journey, you can't build back.
Yeah.
So that's this very key part of your life, right? I went through that journey personally, and there was no one to tell me, what not to do. A lot of people tell you what to do. I really wish people tell more people what not to do.
True.
So for me, it was more an effort to kind of just build a narrative and change that fabric where you're constantly expect entrepreneurs to hustle and work late night and forget everything in life, forget your family. It doesn't cut out. I think it was just that attempt, right? People should take care of their health.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's a good way, and also I get to hang out with cool founders. So you work out and hang out with founders.
I think it's a very genuine effort
Yeah.
to help, because I mean, we've all been in that state at some point.
Yeah.
And for us, fitness is literally our first nature. So we do it often, but the stressors are there.
Yeah.
And exactly why I love the content you're putting out there, right?
Mm.
Like everything you write is so real and raw and honest. It's what every founder is going through, and you are telling everyone what not to do.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
It is.
Yeah,
And in fact, you've seen it. The early days of Cult, I had sort of lost my sleep.
Yeah.
I've had like rough patches of bad sleep, and like after a week of not sleeping, it just becomes like terrible.
Yeah.
And even though I'm someone who was working out even back then, I broke my spine and all that bargain because I wasn't recovering, and I kept hammering myself at the gym. And looking back now, 10 years back now, I know that's one of the biggest mistakes that I've made. And it's phenomenal that you're doing something for that.
Yeah, you're telling people early on that you can do it this way also.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be hustle all the time, which is so true.
Entrepreneurship is not taught in schools. I mean,
Yeah.
now, of course, you have a lot of online content, but you always aspire to become someone. I mean, you see a Steve Jobs and an Elon Musk or a Nitin Kamath and say, look, I want to be that person, right? So it's very aspirational, right? So, and therefore you try to at least replicate what they have done in terms of business, and that content is out there. How you need to raise money, how you need to build a product, how you need to sell a product, how you need to hire your first employee, all that content is there, right? But if you also want to do what they're doing, but they're not sharing, how would you know about it?
True.
Yeah.
Right? Elon Musk is not saying, what he's eating, how much he's sleeping. Nitin Kamath is not saying what workout he's doing, right? But he's also doing that, right? So I think it's nice when you have a very well-rounded ecosystem which is built, because one side of content is enough there. And I thought, there was over explosion of that content, how to do a startup and how to raise money. But no one is telling founders a lot of things what you should not do. And
Correct.
One of the things which I felt I should not have done. I didn't realize it. It's useful till the time I said, hey, just the things which I thought I should not have done.
Yeah.
What do you think of tracking data and things? Do you do that? Like, are you a believer of, okay, let me track my sleep, let me track the calories, let me track these kind of metrics like HRV, HR? Are you big on that? Are you?
Yeah, so personally, I'm big on that.
Yeah.
But I have to put it as a disclaimer that I think it's each its own, right? I think in a world where we live, there's both spectrum. I think some sense of measurement is important, because then you know what you're doing, how you're doing. Because I think, as someone said, that if you can't measure, you can't manage it.
Exactly.
Right? But then you should also not over-engineer it, right? Because we also get carried away by a lot of variables around us, and we are also over-engineering the tracking bit. But I think to people who just want to, have those basic guardrails in terms of what they should do, some bit of tracking is useful. Like a 10,000 step, how much of sleep you are getting. But there are also people who might also get even more anxious, because the variable saying that you only got 5 hours of sleep, but the person feels, no, I'm feel completely okay, and I might have slept more. And I know few people who also get a lot of anxiety issues, right?
Yes.
So I think you have to work your way around. I am a kind of person who is very data driven. So I like to get data, but I try to maintain an arm's length. I don't make the data, dictate what my life is. I design my life around the data, right? So if I get a trend in terms of what my sleep is, and it's just not going good, so I know how to optimize it.
Yeah.
If my HRV is trending downward, that means there's something wrong inside my body. So I have to again pause, or maybe there's an illness which is coming around.
Correct.
Yeah. So I prefer to do data, but again, like I said, I don't want to over-engineer it. I mean, there are days where I will just take everything out, and I feel that, okay, I don't want to see any numbers. But then most of it, I like to get a pulse of what's happening around inside me.
I mean, I'm big on data as well, but like you said, I don't allow it to make decisions for me, because ultimately, you understand your body better than even the gadgets, right? But I also know of people who literally, if it says, oh, you're not recovered, they're like, okay, I'm going to do nothing today.
Yeah.
And it'll go on for like the next 2-3 days. If it says that, they'll do nothing.
Yeah.
But I feel like one night of not so good sleep, you don't have to wake up and say, oh, my recovery is poor, I'll do nothing. You do something that day, and chances are you'll probably sleep very well that night, right? Consistent nights of no sleep is obviously a red flag. But yeah, you're right. I mean, wearables are great. Data is fantastic, but one needs to know how to use it.
Good point. I think it's a judgment, and one has to build that judgment. Like, I mean, last week my watch, I woke up and said, you should go out and run at this certain pace. But I was not feeling good because I had a gym session and I had a certain DOMs and I was fatigued. And I felt, no, maybe today I should just relax.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. Because if I had gone and did that, very good chances that it would just break some.
True.
Right? So I think that judgment is very important. That's why I said that, look at the number, but don't make it dictate your life.
Correct. I want to touch upon, running as a sport. It's very repetitive. And like one very extreme way of saying that is that running is sort of a threat to the integrity of your joints. You've been like running long distances and you've been running fast, a marathon in sub-3 hours. What are your top tips for people to prevent injuries if they're taking up running?
Yeah, again, things which I avoided. First, strength training, extremely important, extremely underrated, and extremely ignored, especially amongst runners. I think runners are obsessed with only running. And only talk about running and think about running. And they get enamored by the metric around running, about how fast you can run, how much you can run, the mileage and all of that. I think early days, all of that looks very rosy. I don't know of any runner, either amateur or professional runners, who have never got injured. More so amateur runners, right? So, and that happens because we don't look running as a sport. So I think the confusion which I had and which I see amongst a lot of amateurs is that they start running more as a source of fitness.
Yes.
But very soon it just transition as a sport, but they don't realize it's a sport now. Because you don't have to do a 10K and a 20K or long run and an interval and tempo and all of that to stay fit.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, a 5K every alternative day is just good enough for that.
Correct.
But once you start doing that, you are living an athlete life.
Correct.
And this becomes a sport now. So you should respect and should treat your body and the sport with the same respect what other professionals are doing it, right? So you have to do that, and it becomes all the more challenging because almost majority of the amateur runners are also working professionals. So their life, they don't have the luxury of working out, taking a power nap, eating, waking up, doing a massage. You don't have those luxury, right? So then you have to really be very methodical. So I think strength training is the foremost part, very, very important. I ignored it a lot and I value it a lot now. I think strength training, not just from an injury prevention point of view, but just the sheer fact that muscle is so important for you as you age. And running depletes muscle. It eats muscle. A good trainer will never ask you to run a lot because they know that you're losing muscle.
Correct.
So strength training extremely important, regardless you're a beginner or an advanced runner, whether you're a male or a female. Second, nutrition. Runners, there is this mindset that because you burn, your metabolism is like that now, you can put whatever in your body and it will burn out. I used to do that. But then once I started looking at running more from a science point of view and performance point of view, started appreciating nutrition a lot more. It's more important what you put in your body than how you're putting it in your body, right? So maybe everyone need not be very particular about calories, but the right nutrition is more important than whatever you eat. And then recovery and sleep, again, very underrated. I think a good sleep is an underrated drug for performance.
True.
So much can change in your performance if you can get a good quality sleep. If you can crack these 3 pits, I think not just for running, but any sporting endeavor you can excel.
Amazing. Do you sleep enough? How much do you sleep?
I mean, that's my only bucket list that which I want more in life. I try to optimize a lot around my sleep, but I've somehow built a consistency in terms of my bedtime. So there is a window between 9:30 and 10. I should be on my bed. Waking time and the sleep time is changed because I have a 4-year-old at home. We share the bed. So it really depends on what he's thinking that night, whether he's playing soccer on the bed or whether he's doing taekwondo. So sleep is disrupted. But I feel this is a phase of life. But I try to optimize a lot around sleep. I wake up at a certain time. I think because all these years of putting alarm, now the body is an alarm in itself. So I don't need an alarm. So, around 5, I'm up. So I try to get to bed as early as possible because my circadian rhythm is set. I can't change it now. So I'm up by 5. So I try to get to bed as early as possible so that I can finish my quota.
Just the other day, I got kicked in my face because my son, we share the bed also. And he's 3 years old. Changing directions the entire night, and suddenly I was like,
I think it's a boy thing, the girls are not so. Of course, my daughter is 5 and she doesn't move so much anymore. She passed out, but I think it's a boy thing. You're just more aggressive.
I'm dreaded on what sports do I introduce because these days I got a boxing glove for him, so I'm getting boxing. Now I'm dreaded to start punching in sleep now because earlier it was football, so he was kicking all the time. So, but it's challenging. I think early parents, I have a whole lot of respect now. For early parents, because it takes a lot. Sleep cycles are completely off. But I think that's it's very hard to also get it fixed because no matter what you do, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and there's debt and there's extension. That's all you can do. That's the best you can try. But so now, after running, you have moved into Hyrox, right? Is it because it has so much running in it? Is that what excited you?
Actually, it was a curiosity. I was curious when I started running. It was the intent was not to run fast ever, or to do a Sub-3 or a Boston Marathon, any of that sort. I think the initial bit was curiosity, and that got me to what I did. And then Hyrox came along, and I just became curious. And when I started reading, learning about, I realized, okay, running is an element to it.
Yes.
Runners generally have an edge. That's what people say. And I was very curious about the format. And then in the back of my mind, I had this, that because I've been running so long, I had been losing a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
So I wanted an excuse to get back to gym, because a lot of my strength work was more conditioning and rehab. It was never lifting weights as such. So I wanted a very good reason, and this became a solid reason to do that, right? Because there is a goal which is performance oriented. It's an event, so you can train. So you can continue to get the same performance high and endorphins of training, and then it's a good modality to introduce your body. So Hyrox was that introduction to me, that I can now go back and lift weights, build up some muscle, and I had a historical aerobic base, so I could capitalize on that.
Exactly.
So that was the fun reason to do that.
How many have you done so far?
I did 2.
And what's your average run pace like in Hyrox?
Both the events average out, it's around 4 minute 25 seconds, 4 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah. Which is why they're able to finish the time that they finish, right? Like for people like me, we would run slower. Like I would run at a 5:30, but I do all my strength movements faster.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And for Dilip, because he's super amazing with running, he'll maximize on the running.
Yeah. And I'll painfully dread on sleds.
Yeah, exactly.
But I won't have that strength.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, that's how this whole hybrid thing is working for both. For a runner, it's a different excitement. For a strength athlete, it's a different.
And I think it's a very good modality, right? I mean, to condition your body to both side endurance and strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
And it's also very tactical.
I think the beauty is it's definitely got more people outdoor running.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like we were talking earlier about how, walking, right? Everyone should simply do it. Like our body is designed to move like that, walk. And I feel the same about running as well. Like I feel like everyone, they don't need to run fast, like you said. But everyone should just be able to jog and do a nice run at their own pace.
Exactly.
It's not something one needs to be teaching. But then if you want to do it like a little bit more professionally and go for races, whether it's 10, then you do a little more detailed work on it, right? But it's just nice to see more people out there on the roads trying to run. Trying to do what their body naturally is capable of doing.
4:25, man.
That's, if he's to be a Sub-3 marathoner, what pace are you running at?
Sub-3 would take around 4 minute 15.
Consistently.
Consistently for 42 kilometers.
4:15.
So this 4:25
and that
consistently for 42 kilometers.
Yeah, so that's a sport, I
yeah.
understand. But here, after you sled portion, then you go back to running and you pull in.
I think that's where he's breathing. That's his break time.
For both my Hyrox training, I never did any run training. I was all the time spending my time in the gym.
Strength.
Because all those workstations were new to me. The entire training modality was new to me. Like even the functional movement and some wall balls, sleds, ski, rowing. I've never done those.
Correct.
And these are very technical, right?
Correct.
In terms of movements, right? So I never did any running. In fact, I didn't run at all. And I surprised myself because I think there's some bit of muscle memory that you can, and there was an aerobic base because like 7-8 years of running, there was an aerobic base.
Yes.
So I could capitalize on that. But I think the next one I want to train properly. Like I also want to do run now because I mean you can optimize a bit. So you
you can for sure.
You can shave off a few more minutes if you do running properly.
For a strength athlete to run at a very good pace is hard. But for a runner to be able to push and pull and throw, learn that faster is actually easier.
It's still mostly endurance. There is, of course, sled and...
exactly, still endurance.
So you need to have an aerobic base. So even for your ski and your rowing, you need to have a good cardio system.
Exactly.
You get your technique in your ski and row right, and endurance base you have. So you don't need it. Awesome. Okay, finally, why is peak state important for you?
Well, actually, honestly, Peak State started just with an experiment. Like a lot of stuff what we are doing at work. It was the idea was to make movement a mainstream topic, and we felt that no one was doing that, and everyone had some intent to do all these events, right? And we always wanted to have something where we could go out and have a great time doing some workouts, like a whole day, like a Coachella of fitness. That was the narrative that we had in head, right? It would be cool if there's a 1 day, 2 day fitness festival where this whole lot of different formats. There's a running, there is Zumba, there's yoga, there's sauna, cold plunge, but everything community driven.
Yeah.
And everyone is participating.
Yeah.
It's not spectator. Everyone is into it. They're doing everything. And just like 1-2 days of amazing fitness experience. And then you move back and the entire community comes together. So that was as an idea we thought that it would be cool if there was something like that. We never got something like that. So we thought probably we should make an attempt to build something like that. So it just started with that idea, and we started doing Founders Speak for founders. We want to do something for the family, which is kids and parents together working out. And I think all of this will, the way it's in our head today is that all of this will culminate to a very large kind of 1 day, 2 day fitness festival where there are different experiences, people coming, participating more importantly, and it just becomes a mainstream conversation of health and fitness. Like unfortunately in India, health and fitness is a very seasonal, topical conversation, right? I mean, some report comes about obesity numbers and people talk about it. We have an Olympic season and everyone starts talking about it, but then it's never mainstream, right? And if India really needs to be healthy, it should be a common language. Like there's a great work what you guys are doing in building this conversation and doing what you do in social media. I think we need more and more people to do that with the right intent, which you guys are doing it. So that's just an effort on our part, that what is that we can do.
Yeah.
And Peak State is kind of that shape and name to it now.
Amazing.
Yeah. Is there, before we say bye-bye, just like how you do on Instagram, write so much. Is there one message that you want to give all those startup people out there?
Yeah, I mean, just take care of yourself mentally and
That's
physically.
not how nice you are on Instagram. I mean,
it's repetitive. I think something which I haven't said enough is social health. I think the importance of friends and family. It gets ignored a lot. Social health is different from social media. It is,
or socially just drinking.
Social health doesn't mean that how many followers someone has got or what number of likes one has got.
Exactly.
It means just spending undistracted time with your loved ones. And when I say undistracted, your devices are away from you. You're not bogged by the pings and the notifications, and you're just very mindful on the time what you spend. So just build some social health around yourself. Just be happy. I think it's a great wealth to be.
Thank you so much, Dilip. It means a lot that you made time for us and for all the valuable information out there. I'm sure a lot of people will want to run after listening to your journey.
No.
Because like you said, yours is an identity, right? That you are a Sub-3 marathoner, etc. But I don't think many people know your journey, like how you started in running from rehab to... That should be your...
No, thank you. No, thank you for both of you to get me on your podcast. It's actually true. I mean, it's my identity. I mean, to that extent that I put it on my LinkedIn also that I'm an endurance athlete. People ask me that, why aren't you not sponsored by anyone? I'm like, no, it's just an ego check on me. So that I can read it every day so that I live that life. I think it's a good identity to, be around. It builds a lot of discipline and commitment. And I mean, all honestly, it has got a lot. It has given me a lot to do with what I do right now. Right? So
Absolutely.
So it's a good identity to carry along.
No, I
Thank you.
agree. I
Thank
think
you.
having that identity is very important,
course,
right?
that's the
Because
main
then
thing.
you really
Yeah.
push yourself, like you
Yeah.
said. You just reminded every morning you have to wake up and show up because
Yeah.
you have an identity, and
Yeah.
it's a good one to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dilip.
No, thank you both of
Thanks
you.
for coming
Thank
over,
you.
and thank you for everything that you're doing for the founders
Yeah.
and the fitness community in general.